Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera. My name is NURLIYANA binti ASSRI. My mentor number is A20A1834. I will present about introduction. India, or officially the Republic of India, is a country in South Asia. It is the seventh largest country by area, the most populous country, and the most populous democracy in the world. In this pandemic, India has shocked many people of the world because when the daily positive cases of COVID-19 in the country is the highest case in history. India, or more precisely its capital Delhi, has recorded up to 25,000 COVID-19 cases a day. They have taken action to dramatically reduce COVID-19 positive cases through total lockdown. Then, for the annual average GDP growth has been 6% to 7% since the beginning of the 21st century. And from 2013 to 2018, India was the world's fastest growing major economy that has surpassing China. Then, the economy slowed in 2017 as a result of demonetization shock in 2016 and subsequently the goods and services tax implementation in 2017. However, since COVID-19 hit, GDP in the country has been declining since 2019. Until this day. This is due to various causes such as economic activities that had to be shut down, a large population being laid off during a pandemic, and so on.
Assalamualaikum and hi, selamat sejahtera. My name is Siti HAJAR binti HAMDAN and my matric number is A20A1956. I will continue present about what the economic activity of India country that contribute to their economic growth. After identified, my group found that the main economic activity of India country that contribute to their economic growth is the industry sector. Major industry included automobile furnishing, cement, chemicals, food process, machinery, petroleum, steel, transport equipment and textile. However, refined petroleum in India is main import. Although India crude oil production is low, the country refined capacity is high and it export refined petroleum to oil producing countries like Saudi Arabia and the UAE as well as the country in Europe. India has one of the large cutting and polishing industry for diamonds and another gemstone in the goods. The country is highly export oriented and it is supported by a large specialist workforce. The industry sector managed to contribute 54% to the GDP of India. And India has a workforce of 09.3 million. 90% of the is work in industry, 28% in agriculture, and 20% in service. It is known that inventions and industry were the first industry to be significantly affected by the pandemic in India. Both industries have faced several case flow problems since the beginning of the pandemic, and estimate 38 million people affected by which means 17% of the total workforce. Therefore, various government initiatives have been undertaken to protect these two industries. Among the initiatives undertaken by the Indian government is the combination of short-term, medium-term, and long-term measures. Capital expenditure increased by 34.5% during year 2022 to boost the economy. The is because increased government spending is expected to attract private investment with production-related incentive scheme providing excellent opportunity.
Hi, my name is Muhammad FARIS bin Muhammad NAZRI and my metric number is A20A1485. Now, it is my turn to explain about unemployment rate in India. As we can see in the figure above, the unemployment rate in India showed inconsistency in previous years, and as we have seen, there was a decline from 2014 to 2018. But in the following year, the unemployment rate rose again till 2020. As we saw in 2019, before the COVID-19 outbreak, India's unemployment rate was reported at 5.27% in 2019. This record increased the following year, that is at a COVID-19 outbreak of 7.11% in 2020. This data constantly update annually. This data reached a high figure of 7.11% in 2020 and a record low of 5.27% in 2019. This shows the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic has increased the unemployment rate in India.
Hi, I'm SITI HUSNA binti ISNIN A20A1958, and I'm going to further explain about the impact of COVID-19 to the unemployment in India on country and society. Okay, the impact for the country, first one is rising high employment rate. The ensuing COVID-19 pandemic has had a huge impact on the unemployment percentage in India. According to the Center for Monitoring the Indian Economy, or known as CMIE, more than 120 million people in India are employed, and 80 million people have lost their job due to the curfew imposed by the government. Most of those who lost their source of income were in the manual labor sector and daily wage worker, and almost all manufacturing and business activities in India were paralyzed during the COVID-19. When most of the employment sector were closed, some of them were unable to work for a very long period, and some of them were laid off and had lost their source of income completely. As a country severely affected by the COVID-19, the Indian government had to undertake reduced comment periods in a long time due to the widening spread of this virus, and this situation has resulted in more and more sectors being forced to close. The unemployment rate in India was when it was reported that 1 million jobs had to be laid off during 2019, and also 18.9 million sectors were unable to continue their business. Okay, the second one is waste of output resource. The problem of unemployment in India since the COVID-19 pandemic has led to the waste of production resources, where the labor and other source of production such as capital good as well as agricultural land cannot be fully utilized. As we know, one of the main economic activity in India is agriculture, where the labor market is very widespread in the country, and the Indian government had to shut down several industrial sectors. Unemployment in India has caused the opinion received by the society to decrease, and in turn reduce the level of per capita income. As the rate in unemployment in India is on the rise, many individuals are losing their net income so that they are unable to support the daily life of the family, and these situations has forced many Indians to sell their gold to get on with their daily life. According to the AZIZ Premji University, more than 230 million Indians have struggled in poverty since the COVID-19 due to not being able to pay any rent, their children's school fees, hospitality bills, and some of them are very desperate to buy daily food. This situation was very much more worse by the rise in the price of electricity, fuel, and other necessities in India. So because of this situation, most Indians collect their jewelry as the last resort, as well as to guarantee to get for them to get the short-term loan from the bank. Okay, the next one is social and political instability. Prolonged unemployment will increase the poverty rate among the population. The government inability to address this unemployment problem will cause dissatisfactions and anger among the people towards the government. While COVID-19 is becoming more prevalent in India, the poor population of India is increasingly losing a source of income to survive. As a result of the rising unemployment rate and cases, India has received many assistance from many countries such as Beijing, Russia, Qatar, Britain and so on, especially in terms of medical assistance. But despite of the assistance given to the people, there are some politicians who use the assistance to benefit for their own group. This is so unfair for the people because during this peak COVID-19, most of them fully depend on the assistance they are supposed to receive. There are also some elite who are willing to pay large sum of money to run from their country. Without feeling any guilty, some of them also showing their luxurious and comfortable life in other countries, while most of people in their own country have starved to death because they are unable to continue their daily life due to lack of income and have to face this COVID-19.
Hi, my name is Irfan Iqbal, A20B1541. Today, I would like to continue about economic policies implementation. With the pandemic COVID-19 that happened worldwide, including India, there are some actions taken by the government to reboost their economy by implementing their economic policies for the nations. Now, we will look into two policies, which is fiscal policy and monetary policy. Fiscal policy. Fiscal policy is a measure employed to stabilize the economy. In India, the government response has mitigated damage with a stimulus economy package of 20 trillion rupees, which is about 268.25 billion US dollars, and it was almost 10% of the GDP. The government's fiscal support can be divided by two broad categories, which is first, above the line measures, which is focusing on social protection and healthcare, and below line measures that support businesses and shore up credit provisions to several sectors. Monetary policy basically is the process which the monetary authority, which is central bank, control the supply of money in the economy by control over interest rates and maintain price stability and achieve high economic growth. Some measures that were made are reduced repo, which is a repurchasement agreement, and reverse repo rates. Introduce regulatory measures to promote credit flows into the sectors, and also a temporary reduction of liquidity coverage ratio (LCR), and also loan restructures with further extend moratoriums up to 2 years. So that is the summary of the policy that were made in India, and this is the what we call, for me, it was a short and long-term planning in facing COVID-19 with economy still continue. So that's it. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is AYUNI binti JAAFAR and my matric number is A20A1700. In conclusion from the study, we can see that the role of government is significant in helping to stabilize the India economy, especially in this time of the COVID-19 pandemic. The government plays an essential role in controlling unemployment through fiscal policy, monetary policy, and direct control. Now, current economic management of India is very complicated as a result of the pandemic. The government needs to continue to stick to export-based growth despite the global slowdown, increasing protectionist policies, trade blocks, and managed trade. The government needs to continue its effort to attract foreign investors to invest. The government also needs to impose restrictions on the increasing number of counterfeit goods. The country income will decrease because the tax generated from the industry cannot be internally generated. This situation can cause foreign investors and entrepreneurs to give a wrong impression of the country.